I'd like to share, in my opinion, one of the strongest barriers to a life of endless possibilities can be self, a person, you. So you might be the barrier. So it's important that we talk to our minds this morning. Today we're talking about a value system. And I'd like to pick the case study of the Pareto principle. Who has heard about the Pareto principle? We don't like to read. Let's read, oh. Okay. The Pareto principle is the 80-20 rule. Yeah, so there's this guy, Wilfred Pareto, sometime in the 18th century. He came up with an analogy that has been working. So many people have tried, tested, and they saw that it works. So he said, then in Italy, about 80% of the resources of Italy was controlled by 20% of the population. And that puzzled him a lot. So they tried that principle in marriage, in finance, in raising children, in career, and they found out that it's true. In my opinion, it might not be an 80-20, it might not even be a 60-40. It's just all about value. But where I would like to agree with him is there's something called the trivial many and the most important few. So it's now left for you to identify what that few is to you. What are those things you need to do? What are the things you need to adopt now for you to have maximum result? Number one, I like quality. So my first point today is we need to learn to prioritize quality above volume. When people say to me, I have worked in this organization for 15 years, it doesn't necessarily mean you're competent or you're good. It just means you're stable. Competence is not always a function of the length of time or how far you've spent in that place. It has to be about quality. And quality means you need to ask yourself, put a premium on the quality of your output. Ask yourself, am I the best man doing this? It is true that men are not indispensable, but there are some people that will leave your organization and you know that virtue has left you. They've gone with a part of you. So we're not asking for someone who seeks for perfection, but we're looking for those who have an eye of excellence. Very soon, yes, we know the digital space has changed everything, but it has not eroded the place of value. Very soon, you see people cross from continent to continent, nation to nation, looking for a particular level, a standard of value. I like to put a premium on every little thing, even when I'm making my hair. I don't want someone to you can't just be doing things in a shabby way. In Highland Church, we said we're raising global leaders. And one day, the leaders will be separated from others. Where are you going to be? Because if the church says we're raising global leaders, it's left for you to make up your mind and say, I want to be one of those global leaders. So you need to prioritize quality over volume. If we were all paid based on what we're achieving, some of us might not take anything home. If payment was not 8 to 5 and it has to do with what you have got for the month or what you've got for the week, some of us might not have anything. I'm not saying we're all on the fast lane or we all have to be result oriented, but we must all place a premium, I beg your pardon, on quality. So ask yourself, if I was rendering this service to myself, would I be getting the maximum output from it? And that would help us. So that's number one. Number two is focus. During Operation Esther, Pastor took his time to talk to us. Oh, no, I think it was during Upgrade. He spoke to us about focus. I work with children, and I found out that a child who is focused at 6 years is already an adult. The job is done. It's not true that maturity is always tied to age, but when you see a child has understood the concept of focus, just give it time. Give it time. In a very short while, you just find out that this child does not need your support anymore. So the dependence on the parent will start to reduce. So I encourage parents, help your child to understand focus. I was at a training last week, Friday, and during the mental health section, they asked us to close our eyes, like we're going to be hypnotized. And they told us to focus. Okay, so in 20 seconds, you're going to open your eyes. And the lady was saying some things. Well, when we opened our eyes, she said, how many of you still had your minds here when you close your eyes? Nobody raised up their hands. In Nigeria, our attention span is like this. We need to learn to focus. So I put a picture here that I'd like you to see. Amidst the noise, amidst the activity, I remember when I got into ABU Zaria, I got into so many departments. I got born again. I was excited. So I was in the prayer department. I was in one department, in the accounting department. I was everywhere until someone said, you're going to kill yourself. You can't walk like this. This is not how to serve God. Serving God doesn't have so much to do with activity. You've got to learn to pick one goal at a time. Pick one step. Make up your mind and say, okay, so there are many objectives. There's the strategy, but there's a goal. This is the goal for 3 months. This is the goal for 6 months. This is what I intend to achieve within this time time and this time. As we're saying is our month of all possibilities, what is your goal for this month of August? If you are part of those that say, okay, it will happen tomorrow and next week, you might just end up the season and find out that there will be nothing. That won't be so for us in Jesus' name. Number 3 is implementation. I hear a lot of I want to. If only. If only I was born in Lagos. If only my father this. I wish I had. If only I came out with a first class. I will do this. I will learn to drive. I will. Enough of the intentions. Enough of the wishes. Enough of the I wanted to. Enough of the regrets. Enough of all that. It's time to take action. Stop saying, if this had happened. Shift all of those things, all those tags, put them one side, and make up your mind that I will act now, because implementation is key. One action is better than 1,000 intentions. 1,000. One action, making up your mind that I will do this, I will take this step now. So the best time to take that step you've always desired is when? Is now. If possible, is today. Number 4, embrace research. So I have found out that they always say most companies collapse between the first 3 to 5 years. But in my opinion, why would a company not collapse when they don't understand the term research? They believe the idea that they started with should keep running because it had worked before. Any organization that lacks R&D cannot go far. Even a church. That's why whenever they say, let's come for strategy sessions, I'm always excited because lots of ideas will drop, and then you just felt to want to do something else. You must go after research. Look at what you're doing and ask yourself, is there no better way to do this thing I've been doing? Is there a better way to do this? Is there a better package, a better software? Do I need to go after some soft skills? Somebody approached me one time and said, I've been promoted and I feel, yes, maybe my organization saw something, but I do not think I fit into the shoes I've been placed. And I said, that's the best way. That's the right feeling. So what you need to do is to task yourself by making sure you can sit on that seat properly. If not, you get in there now, in 6 months, you'll be out. So do something about research. Research cannot be generic for all of us. All of us, we should find areas of research that will add to our growth. And finally, take advantage of the night season. Take advantage of the night. I couldn't have got this presentation during the day. There are so many ideas that would never come to you just by sitting down, chatting. You need to maximize the night. It's not only witches and wizards that need the night. We also need the night. Beyond, you wake up in the night, you pray, you speak in tongues, you sit down and you think. You sit down and you think. One of the things that endeared me to Pastor Nii when I started coming to PACM was when he used to tell us that if you are still sleeping for 8 hours, you are gone. You are gone. It means what is left is just something small. Take advantage of the night season. Take time to pray. Take time to think. I know that ideas and the result or the answers you want, you will get in the night. Do you know why? Because the greater one dwells on your inside. It's there. It's there. You just need to bring it out. And guess what? If you're not feeding your spirit man, you're not feeding yourself with things that have quality. When you sit at night, nothing will drop. If you soak a foam that is filled with water, what will drop? Water. When you squeeze it out, water will drop. But even if you sit at night and you're watching movie, you're watching series, it might not help you. So take advantage of the night time by thinking, planning, and praying. They can come in any succession as you so desire. But every time you awake in the night, you must be doing either of these 3 things. Are you planning? Are you thinking? Or are you praying? Thank you for listening. Have a good day.